There is a psychological trap that 87% of men are walking straight into, and it is literally destroying their chances with women. But here's the crazy part. The solution has been hidden in plain sight for centuries. A legendary strategist, someone who understood human psychology better than most people understand themselves, uncovered 5 psychological triggers that make women go from interested to obsessed, from casual dating to unable to leave you. And honestly, most men will never discover these facts. They will keep wondering why some men have women practically chasing them while they are out here struggling to get a response to a text message. However, if you stay with me for the next few minutes, you will see exactly what these 5 things are. When you do, you will probably realize that you have seen this play out in real life 1,000 times. You just did not know what you were looking at. Trust me, this is not what dating apps or romance movies teach you. Let's get into it. 1. Emotional safety, with a hint of mystery. Imagine this. She is sitting next to you, talking about something she has never told anyone. An ex, a fear, a family issue. And as she's talking, she's quietly scanning your face, your tone, your reactions, asking herself one question: am I safe with this man? Emotional safety is when she feels that the real her will not be punished. You are not judging her, waiting to use her vulnerability as a weapon in the next argument, or exploding or guilt-tripping when she opens up. You stay steady, calm, grounded. You listen. You ask questions, you hold space. In that moment, she is not just attracted, she starts to relax into you. This is where attachment begins. However, here's the twist that most men miss. If you are only safe, soft, and predictable, she will also get bored. She wants to feel safe with you, yes, but she still wants to wonder a little. She wants to think, what is going on in his head? What is he planning next? Where is this going? This is where the hint of mystery comes in. You do not dump your entire life story on the first date. You do not text every detail of your day. You do not always respond instantly. Not because you are playing games, but because you actually have a life, a mission, and an inner world she does not fully know yet. You are emotionally available, but not emotionally naked to the point of being see-through. That combination, she feels safe opening up, yet she cannot fully predict you, is addictive. She starts replaying the conversations. She starts wondering what you are thinking when you go quiet. She starts asking herself, who is this guy really? And why do I want to know more so badly? Once that question hooks into her mind, the real obsession starts. If emotional safety with a hint of mystery is the doorway, the next thing I am about to show you is what makes her terrified to ever close that door again. 2. Unshakable self-respect. He never chases validation. Think about the most powerful shift you can make as a man. You stop needing anyone to choose you because you have already chosen yourself. This is what unshakable self-respect looks like. Obsession does not begin when you chase her harder. It actually starts when she realizes, this man will not betray himself just to keep me. You are not cold or rude, but you are unmovable when it comes to your principles. That alone makes you feel different from 99% of the guys she has met. Most men try to argue for their values. They explain, defend, and justify their actions. You won't need to. You show your worth in how you live, your routine, discipline, friendships, work, and standards. If she pulls away or acts flaky, you do not instantly panic and flood her phone. You don't start begging for closure or asking what you did wrong every 5 minutes. You give her space, stay calm, and keep moving on with your life. This calmness is not indifference. It's a deep message. My world doesn't collapse just because one person is unsure about me. When you have self-respect, you say no without hesitation. You do not accept disrespectful behavior, constant cancellations, mixed signals, or emotional games. You do not scream, threaten, or throw ultimatums. You simply step back from anything that does not match the standard you have for your life. Here's what most men do not understand. That quiet, grounded firmness is exactly what makes you unforgettable. She feels it. She notices that you are not desperate for her approval, and that's when she starts asking herself, what's so special about this man that he's not chasing me like everyone else? That is when you stop being just another guy in her phone and start becoming a psychological imprint she cannot shake. However, self-respect is only the first lever. Once you become the man who never chases validation, there is a second psychological trigger that, when added on top of this, makes women feel an even deeper emotional pull toward you. And that's where things really start to get interesting. 3. Deep emotional mirroring. She feels completely understood. Most men think women get attached because of looks, money, or status. But the truth is way simpler. Women get deeply attached to the man who makes them feel, he really gets me. Emotional mirroring is the ability to understand what she feels, even when she is not saying it perfectly. Instead of brushing her off with, you're overreacting, you might say, you seem overwhelmed, not just annoyed. That tiny shift makes her feel safe with you in a way that most men never do. You do not have to be a therapist. You must listen. When she talks about her day, her stress, her family, her dreams, you are not just waiting for your turn to speak. You listen more than you talk, and you remember small details. The coworker stressed her out. The exam she is worried about. She hates it when people cancel last minute. When you bring those details back later, in her mind it screams, this man pays attention to me. Here's the key. You do not need to agree with every single thing she says to validate how she feels. You can think she's wrong about a situation, but still say, I get why you'd feel hurt by that. You are not worshiping her, you are just acknowledging her emotional reality. And that's rare, when a woman feels seen emotionally. When she feels like she does not have to fake being fine, that's when she bonds fast and deep. That is when other guys start to feel boring, surface level, and forgettable. However, this is where it gets really crazy, because simply understanding her feelings is not enough to make her obsessed. If you stop here, you will be the nice guy she vented to, not the man she cannot stop thinking about. The real obsession starts when you combine this emotional mirroring with something far more dangerous, and that is exactly what I'm going to break down for you in the next section. 4. Firm boundaries plus warm, protective energy. Firm boundaries with warm, protective energy are one of the biggest cheat codes in dating because most men are stuck on one extreme. Either they're overly nice and let women walk all over them, or they're cold and distant trying to act alpha. The man she is actually attached to is in the middle. He's kind, he's patient, he jokes, listens, and cares. But at the same time, he does not tolerate disrespect, flakiness, or chaos in his life. From anyone. This means that you are not starting arguments, but you are also not scared of losing her if you need to walk away. If she constantly cancels at the last minute, disrespects your time, or plays games, you do not scream or beg. You detach, calmly. You show through your actions that your time, goals, and peace matter. You have a life you are building, and nobody gets to come in and wreck it, no matter how attractive they are. Women feel that. They feel when a man is grounded in himself instead of chasing approval from others. Here is where the obsession kicks in. While you are firm with your standards, you are soft with your heart. When she is with you, you are present. You are caring, reliable, and follow through on what you say. You remember the little things she tells you, you protect her when it counts, and you make her feel looked after and not controlled. Around you, she feels safe to relax, be feminine, breathe out, and be a bit vulnerable, because she knows you have got yourself handled. You are not needy, but you are not emotionally unavailable either. This combination is rare, and in her mind, this creates a powerful story. With him, I feel safe, but I can't walk all over him. This is exactly where deep attachment forms. She respects and desires you simultaneously. Losing a nice guy is whatever, but losing a man like this actually hurts. And the wild part? When you Combine this energy with what I'm about to show you in the next point. That's when you become the man she simply cannot get out of her head. 5. Our world. Bonding. Rituals, inside jokes, and shared meaning. This is when a woman stops seeing you as just a man she is dating and starts seeing you as her person. Our world. Bonding is when your relationship starts to feel like its own private universe that nobody else fully understands or can relate to. It is not about big speeches or fancy gifts. It is about the tiny, consistent things you do together that slowly build a secret language between you and her. Consider simple rituals. Perhaps every Friday night, you two always grab the same takeout and watch a certain kind of movie. Perhaps every morning you send her a voice note with a silly little greeting that only the two of you would find funny. It does not have to be perfect or cinematic. It just has to be yours. Over time, she will not only look forward to seeing you, she will look forward to those moments that only exist with you. Then, there are the inside jokes. That one joke about the waiter, the dog you saw, the song that always makes you laugh. Those things sound stupid to everyone else, but to you two, they're gold. Every time you reference it, she's reminded, we really have our own thing going on. Add in shared memories, places that mean something to you both, and goals you are low-key building together. And suddenly, this is not just a relationship. It's your story. This is what makes you feel irreplaceable in her mind. Not just your looks, not just your status, but the world you have built with her that no other guy can copy. Another man might take her on a date, but he cannot replay your rituals, your jokes, your history. This is where real attachment kicks in. But here's the twist. You can build the most beautiful our world with a woman and still lose her completely. If you miss the next psychological trigger that quietly decides whether she trusts that world enough to stay. That is exactly what I'm breaking down in the very next point. Thus, the trap in which 87% of men are stuck is now visible. They are trying to impress women with surface-level stuff, while completely ignoring the 5 psychological triggers that actually make a woman attach, bond, and stay. Emotional safety with a hint of mystery. Unshakable self-respect. Deep emotional mirroring is a process that firm boundaries with warm and protective energy. Finally, our world, bonding where it stops being you and her and becomes your universe that no one else really gets. Any one of these on its own will make you stand out in the field. However, when you start stacking them together, you stop being just another guy she's talking to and start becoming the man her brain keeps circling back to, even when she tries to move on. I must clarify that these are not mind control tricks. This is not about turning women into drug addicts. This is about becoming the kind of man who naturally commands respect, desire, and emotional investment, while still being a good human. If you use this to run through women, lie, or play with their emotions, it will backfire on you sooner or later. But if you use it to build real, healthy, powerful connections, your dating life will never be the same again. If this has opened your eyes even a little, please do 2 things for me. First, drop a comment down below and write, I refuse to be the 87%. That's your promise that you are done playing small and are done being blind to how this actually works. Second, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because in my next video, I am going to flip this whole thing on its head and show you the exact behaviors that silently kill these psychological triggers. The little habits that make women lose respect and attraction without even telling you why. You have just learned what makes women wildly attached. Next, I'm going to show you what silently makes them pull away, even when they say, it's not you, it's me.